Arnab, just before you give your words, I want to tell you that those 8 days when we were going on live, I remember Priyanka, Deshratan Nigam, Swapnil, so much a part of Team Republic when they were supporting us, because the hashtag that we used was India is with Republic. We saw prayers coming in not only from Indians but across the world when people were praying. And I remember the one message that we continued saying and the viewers kept acknowledging it. This was a fight. This was a good fight that we were fighting. This was a fight that we were fighting, and I want Deshratan Nigam to come in.
Maybe expand on this, yes.
Yes. Sure, because this was a fight that was going to go across, and now when the law of the land is stayed, this is going to be a message to every court in the country that bail has to be given, liberty has to be served, personal liberty has to be.
And also that FIRs cannot be concocted overnight to arrest people. Deshratan Nigam, please. I'd love to hear from you.
Arnab, if you recall, you were illegally incarcerated when we were on the debates, and there was a unanimity on the panel that there was no case made out, and the way the case was reopened. And on 12th of November, I had said that you would celebrate Diwali in your own home, and that was based on logic, reasoning, and law. And that is what exactly, and it has been made very clear about the vendetta, vengeance, harassment, and malice, which was so visible, and still the High Court did not exercise its jurisdiction, lawful jurisdiction under Section 482 of CRPC. And and there was unanimity on the panel that why 482 was not being used. And except the High Court, everybody else could see it, and the High Court was unable to see it. Yes, High Court made a mistake, and that mistake has been very clearly and cogently pointed out by the Supreme Court bench. And that is where one has to see even the prima facie, the contents of the FIR does not disclose any offense against you. It was at best an accounting problem. It was at best an issue related to finance. You had no personal relationship with the person concerned or personal interaction with the person. And hence abetment could not have been there.
Yes.
So all those things, and this and Supreme Court has reiterated it has already laid down, that you have to exercise power under 482. Whether you exercise it rightly or wrongly is another question, but you have to actually exercise it. And the High Court failed to even exercise that jurisdiction. That's a very important point. And once the liberty comes into question, and let me tell you, people started comparing your case with some other journalists. Let me tell you, every case stands on a facts and circumstances on its own. It cannot be compared. You can compare similarly situated persons. You cannot compare apple and oranges. Let us be very clear. And bail is a discretion of the court. And therefore, they should exercise discretion, and it cannot be said as a matter of right. And therefore, the Supreme Court exercises discretion in the manner that it is sending a message throughout the country. And secondly, let me tell you, that's a great lesson for other channels also. You cannot remain silent when there is an encroachment on the liberty of the press and freedom of press. That's a very important lesson. I think every channel, every anchor, every reporter must take.
Would it be fair to say, Rhythm has just got the judgment, Deshratan Nigam, and she is taking a minute to go through it. But on the panel right now, Priyanka is also there. Swapnil, first of all, we are all immensely grateful to you. And Swapnil, we will all see the judgment and read it and analyze it in detail. I am more concerned, Swapnil, and maybe Swapnil can speak first on this and then Priyanka. So she's got the exact words. So I think Rhythm will be able to read the exact words to you right now, which will be very useful. Yes, Rhythm, you would like to?
Sure, absolutely. So let's tell our viewers that page 33 of a 55-page judgment that's laying down the law of the land when it comes to personal liberty. On page 33 or no, para 45, when they talk about prima facie FIR and the grant of bail, so crucial as we're going to put it up on our screens, where they say the striking aspect of the High Court judgment spanning over 56 pages is the absence of any evaluation, even prima facie, of the most basic issue. The High Court, in other words, fails to apply its minds to a fundamental issue which needed to be considered while dealing with the petition of quashing. The High Court in its judgment had instead allowed the petition for quashing to stand over for a hearing a month and therefore declined to allow
Yes.
the appellant's prayer for interim prayer, relegated him to the remedy under 439. In
Yes.
the meantime, Liberty had been the casualty.
Yes, without applying their mind on the charge itself.
So the High Court, having failed to evaluate prima facie whether the allegations in the FIR,
please.
taken as they stood, bring the case within the fold of Section 306, is now called upon to perform
Absolutely.
the task.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're now telling the High Court, go and look at the
You can
case
take the
prima
appeal. You can take
facie.
the
So, Arnab,
Yeah.
prima facie, as we're reading out the judgment as to the viewers also, in para
Yeah.
46, they've said the first segment is defining what abetment is really all about. The second segment is defining what is a conspiracy all about. They go and give out details, viewers, in a 55-page judgment about the prima facie ingredients about abetment of suicide. On several occasions they've done this, and then as I'm reading it out, they've given and gone into
306.
great details of the judgment. And then they've said in para 56,
I will get a printout and come back.
Yes. The petition before the High Court was instituted under Article 226 of the Constitution. While dealing with the petition under 482, the High Court has not considered whether prima facie the ingredients have been made out in the FIR. If the High Court were to have carried out the exercise, it would have been apparent the ingredients of the offence have prima facie not been established. So viewers, the Supreme Court in its judgment has today come out and said, as a consequence of the High Court's failure to perform its function under Section 482, the High Court has disabled itself from exercising its jurisdiction under Article 226. We're just getting a printout. Arnab will be back in just a moment, but let me quickly take you towards the contours of a judgment that's laying down the law of the land, the contours of a judgment that is now saying that the High Court should not foreclose itself from the exercise of the powers when it comes to state power. So it's a very crucial particular paragraph that I'm looking at, and I'm going to tell our viewers to look at this very, very crucially, exactly what has been marked out now. Para 56 becomes very crucial. Para 60 becomes crucial. It's the duty of the courts to ensure criminal law doesn't become a weapon for sexual harassment. It's the duty of the courts across the spectrum to ensure criminal law does not. Viewers, I'm going to keep reading out parts of the judgment, but I also want to, as we're continuing to say this and how we're continuing to say we are grateful to the Supreme Court for this judgment, say that para 60 also says human liberty and the role of the courts has to be seen. And I want to go back to our panelists, but I want to just read out this one aspect of what is said in para 60. Human liberty is a precious constitutional value which is undoubtedly subject to regulation. The citizen is subject to the edicts of criminal law, but the public interest is ensuring that investigation of crime is protected by ensuring the inherent powers is exercised with caution. The misuse of criminal law is a matter to which the High Court in this country must be alive. The High Court could not but have been cognizant of the specific ground which was raised before it by the appellant that he was being made a target. And listen to this, because viewers, they are clearly putting out that Arnab had clearly said he was being made a target as a part of occurrences which had been taking place since April 2020. That's when the Palghar incident happened. The specific cases of Arnab is he had been targeted because his opinions on his television channel are unpalatable to authority. Whether he's established a case for quashing is something the High Court will look at, the Supreme Court says. But the Supreme Court is also saying the High Court abdicated its constitutional duty and function as a protector of liberty. Viewers, let it be known, these words are going to ring in the corridors of power, in the corridors of the judiciary for time immemorial, because this is going to be seen as the topmost court of the country, telling all the courts, giving out to all the courts how personal liberty has to be seen as paramount. They say now, and as I'm reading this out, I'm getting goosebumps, because the Supreme Court is stating the courts must be alive to the need to safeguard public interest in ensuring enforcement of criminal law is not obstructed. They're saying courts should be alive to ends of the spectrum. Needs have to be met. Liberty across human eras is as tenuous can be. He said the liberty cannot be a casualty when one of these components is found wanting. It would be a posit to extract. Then he goes on to give out more details about judgments that have been celebrated of Justice Krishna Iyer and others. And finally, he also goes on to say, since the proceedings are pending, we clarify these observations are confined to a determination whether a case for a grant of interim protection can be seen, but human liberty is a precious constitutional value. Prima facie, this case cannot be seen. Priyanka, I want to come to you. Look at the way the
weaponized.
Rhythm, although my audio is not very clear, I can't hear you properly, but I hope you can hear me. So let me start by saying that Arnab Goswami and Republic have once again proved that they are fighters and they have fought this battle for justice. And we had already won. It was a victory when Arnab got bail. But today the reasons for that victory and why the truth triumphed is here before us. See, all these were already there in the observations when the Supreme Court was observing whether or not to grant the bail. Then all these things were already there, where Supreme Court had observed the malafide intent, which was visible, the evidences that which were being manufactured, and also they took into consideration that the state machineries was being misused to settle scores, and the vengeance was there. We were all aware on the face of it. But today what actually matters is, again and again when I raise my voice stating that Maharashtra government and police is misusing their powers, this is what comes in the order from Supreme Court, where it says that vendetta and malice has no place in the society, and Maharashtra government and police should immediately stop the vicious misuse of rule of power. Now this is what we wanted from the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court had actually observed and has given this in the judgment. This will be a historic judgment, where these state governments will now and should be careful before misusing the power and the law. They should know that the Supreme Court is above all to protect the liberty of their citizens. And the Supreme Court has also mentioned that the High Court was in an error by rejecting the grant of the bail to Arnab Goswami, and why. That also they have said. See, when I was there debating, then also I said that this is not the first time that 482 should be considered. This is not the first time that the special powers of the High Court under 439 cannot be used. But the High Courts sat silent on it and they did not use them. So this is why today in this order, the Supreme Court has mentioned that they had all the powers to exercise their jurisdiction, but they failed to do so. So when it is a matter of fundamental rights of citizens, when it is a matter of liberty which is being curtailed by these departments of governments and these agencies, then who else would speak? It should be the courts of the country. And this time the High Court had failed, but the Supreme Court upheld that personal liberties, the fundamental rights of citizens, they are something which should be considered above all. And some technicalities of law or the process of law, a simple technicality cannot refrain or restrain a person from or curtail his fundamental rights in any aspect.
Absolutely. And I also want to ask Deshrata Nigam, when that 55-page verdict of the Supreme Court is coming out. Deshrata Nigam, it's clear when you speak about the nuances of the law that the Supreme Court has very clearly said, prima facie cannot be said, that Arnab was guilty of abetting the suicide. They've said on the application of the test which has been laid down by the court, it cannot be said that he was guilty of having abetted the suicide within the meaning of section 306.
Yes, Rhythm, let me tell you, we have discussed this very extensively even before the interim bail was given. And everybody was unanimous, all the three of us and the others who were there on your channel, that there was no ingredients of 306 abetment to suicide. No personal interaction, no personal relation. At best, even I don't agree to that, at best it was an accounting issue. And therefore, Supreme Court has made it very clear, prima facie, on the face of it, the case should not even have been opened. That's the, I think, corollary that one could easily draw. What was the material available before the court for reopening the case? And that was done even without the permission of the concerned court. And let me tell you, the High Court got entangled in the technicalities of law, the procedural law. It overlooked the substantive aspect of the law. And as lawyers know that the procedural law is servant
substantive law. So one should not get into technicalities of the procedural law. It is to serve the substantive law that this is where the High Court went wrong. And despite the fact that the habeas corpus plea was given up, what was left was quashing and the bail. They could have applied under 482 of CRPC, which is well laid down principles. We as lawyers know. Even the common people now know the inherent powers of the High Court. Like we have in the civil side 151 in Civil Procedure Code, they have it under the Criminal Procedure Code. And therefore, another important thing is the misuse of the government machinery that has been clearly pointed out by the Supreme Court, and that the criminal law and the state machinery cannot be used as a weapon to harass a person, and especially a person who has been fighting
and bringing up very unpalatable issues to the government of the day or various other issues which are very relevant for the society. And again, I'm reiterating, I hope the other channels are listening. Please do not remain silent. It can happen to you as well in some state or the other. So let us be very, unbiased and clear in our minds when the liberty of a person is concerned, irrespective whether a person is journalist or a common man or anybody for that matter.
Absolutely. As this huge vindication comes, Deshrata Nigam for Republic TV and our editor-in-chief, Swapnil, I want to go across to you because the Supreme Court has today said the courts must be alive to the misuse of liberty. Liberty across human eras is as tenuous can be. Liberty as a casualty when one of these provisions is found wanting. And very piercing observations the Supreme Court says we must be alive to this misuse.
Absolutely, Rhythm. First of all, when Arnab expressed his gratitude, when you and Arnab expressed your gratitude, is our privilege. Let me tell you that very frankly, it is a privilege, it is a pleasure to be here on Republic TV, to be a part of, this whole fantastic judgment which has come in Arnab's favor. And secondly, it is immensely great. Today, I'm still debating since the day that I have heard that Mr. Salve has not charged a single rupee. I guess it's a fitting tribute from a giant to another giant. I'm still debating as to whose stature is greater, his or Arnab's. Because these things do not happen. These things happen. They are a very big rarity. Let me tell you that. Now, coming to the point of this judgment that you have mentioned, Rhythm, as far as the High Court being alive to the aspects of personal liberty is concerned, one of the most important observations that the Supreme Court has made today, that a single day of incarceration is a day too many. That is a clear indication to the high courts of this country that do not indulge in technicalities and do not shunt the matters back to the lower courts, saying that follow the hierarchy and come to us. Every case is tested on its own special circumstances, and this case was the most case and the most fit case for inherent powers under Article 226, and as Mr. Nigam pointed out, it was also under Section 482 CRPC. That was plain point blank Section 482 CRPC. Literally, forget 226. I can do straight away under 482 CRPC. So that line itself is a very, very important line that the courts have to be conscious of the fact that here we are talking of personal liberty of the individuals. Above the CRPC and above the criminal jurisprudence and above the tiers of the courts is a constitutional paradigm of equality, freedom of speech and personal liberty right at the top. You take that away, there is nothing left in this country to be proud of. There is nothing left in a democracy. That is the reason why we are a democracy. So it is a very, very important judgment. I'm going to read this inside out because I'm sure that there are several other observations. I'm sure you've read almost all of them, but I would like to read line by line, even some of the judgments that he would have quoted, sort of precedents, as you know, Rhythm, those are very important. So he's reinforcing those precedents there and telling the high courts that please do not let these kind of simple matters come to us. And I'm glad that, Rhythm, after this judgment, in fact, a magistrate's court granted bail to somebody citing this judgment. So this judgment has already started working the way it ought to.
And that is what the endeavor of Republic Swapnil has always been. This is not only about one man, one organization, one media network. This is a judgment that's going to impact millions. In fact, that's the one thing that advocates who were listening to this had messaged us and had given us a guidance, that this judgment is going to have an impact on millions of cases when it comes to personal liberty. Priyanka, I ask you this question because we are reading out observations that are very clear when it comes to personal liberty. Even a day in incarceration is a day too many. Here we've seen the kind of ordeal that Arnab went through when it was 8 days, and how this went from the CJM's court to a sessions court where there was some hearing, and then it went to the high court, and then it also went to the topmost court of the country. But like we've been saying, this is about impacting millions here. This is a judgment which is setting out the law of the land. In the personal case, when they've clearly spoken, they've said no ingredients have been made out. This case will now go to the High Court. But what is the one thing in this judgment, as we prima facie reading out, Priyanka, that is touching your heart? Because for us at Team Republic, we are overwhelmed with a judgment that is clearly saying even a day in incarceration is a day too many, because liberty is paramount.
Absolutely, Rhythm. You see, what now comes to my mind is, how many of us can afford to go to the Supreme Court? How many of us in the country do even have the reach to go to the Supreme Court? Not all. So that is what the Supreme Court is also taking into consideration. That why go to Supreme Court for each and everything when laws are already there? When the Constitution states sections are there, when our IPC has sections, when there are procedures for which the lower court have the authority to grant this bail, why go to Supreme Court every time? And why did High Court fail to exercise their powers under those special powers which are granted to the High Court? Now the question, and which gives me most satisfaction while I was going through the judgments and the lines which you are reading from the judgment, what gives me most satisfaction today is the fight which started against the Maharashtra government and the Mumbai police, that has been noted by the Supreme Court. They have seen this. They have observed that the Maharashtra government and police should immediately stop this vicious misuse of the rules
That's right.
of law.
Priyanka, I just
No, you keep the earpiece.